Hey everybody, how's it going and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I wanted to talk about something that involves motion capture. So I know my motion capture videos are usually not my most watched, but I still want to leave you with some things that if you are doing motion capture might help you out. In this case, I'm just going to showcase some things with Perception Neuron because that is the suit and the software that I'm using. But this can be applied to anyone using any kind of motion capture suit because some of the extra things that I'm going to do will be done in Unreal. All right, let's get started. Now, what I have here is the character that I'm going to use in my short film. And over here, I have some animations that I've created with Perception Neuron. And I don't know if you can tell, but there's a big difference into where my hands are positioned. So if you look at where his hands are versus the actual characters, you can see that his hands are behind. I have no idea why this is happening. I am creating the blueprint as usual, but this is something that might happen to you with any characters that you're using. So in this case, if I go into my blueprint, I have my lifelink pose. By the way, if you've never done this or if you're curious about this process, I do have a step-by-step video on how I did this inside Unreal. If you want to watch that, it's going to be in the description down below. But anyways, what I mean is I did what I usually do, and this was the result. And sometimes with the MetaHuman, I get something where the arms are normal here, but the MetaHuman arms might be too close to the body. There are ways to get around this, and I'm going to show you one of them, which is called creating a corrective pose. If you are using accents, you may be familiar with what I'm going to do, but if you're using any other motion capture suit or Perception Neuron, we usually don't use corrective poses, but sometimes we need to make changes to things like this. So the way that you would do a corrective pose, and let me just show you what a corrective pose would do for you. So you can see how he looks right now if I add my corrective pose into my lifelink. Sorry, I'm going fast. I'll show you what I mean. But as you can see, his hands already changed position. So instead of being completely behind him, it looks more natural. And this goes into a point that I'm going to make for actually recording things inside of Unreal Engine as opposed to doing it like this. But let's get into the corrective pose. So in order to get this is just an animation pose. So as you can see, he is not moving. What I did is I did move the bones a little bit in order to create this pose. This was a little bit of a trial and error, but it doesn't take long. It took me like 10 minutes. So all you have to do is go into the skeletal mesh. And what you'll do in this case is go to characters, bones. In this case, it's usually defaulted to selected only, but you're going to switch it to all hierarchy. It's going to show you all the bones that they are right there. So the issue with my character is that his hands are behind him. So what I would do in this case is go here. I do have my snap on activated. If somehow you don't see the snap on, just drag this to the right and it should come up. So I just go one over here, one over here, just what I did. I also did a little bit for the forearms because for some reason they were a tad too behind. There you go. So we do things like this, and after you're done that, you're gonna go to create asset, create animation, and create current pose. So you click here, you save it, you click OK, and you're gonna get something like this, which is what I already showed you. This is going crazy because it's playing an animation, but there's actually nothing in there. It's just a static pose, but you have to create it as an animation. I don't know, this is just how it rolls in Unreal. So after that, all you have to do is go into your blueprint and just drag your newly created animation. I usually name them corrections at the end because you see if I compile, look where his arms are. Let me actually disable the bone, so select only. So you can actually see what's happening here. you can see his arms are way behind. And you're going to see a huge change once I add my corrective pose. And the corrective pose usually has this little doll here in T-pose. So you connect this doll into this doll in the live link pose node. And it's there for that purpose. And you hit compile. And as you can see, my arms look a little bit more natural. And now this animation is actually usable. And by usable, I mean, I could use it if I, did some camera angles where I don't see the arms, where I don't see the hands. So if I click play, and he's just going to walk a little bit. Kind of forgot what I was doing on this one. I think he's just going to stare at there. There's something behind him, and he's going to kind of like aim his gun at him. So again, it looks a little bit more realistic. Let me switch to another one. I think it was this one. Okay, yeah, this is where he goes through that part of the cave. So if I play, there is a part of one of the worlds that I created where he's just going through like a very narrow part of the cave. And you can see him floating right now. If I do data process, he actually looks a lot better, more contact with the floor, but that's just fine. And as you can see, that actually looks pretty good. The animation looks decent. There's just some clipping with this pistol right here. I'm going to make a point about this in a little bit, but just to show you, the animation look okay. And again, I'm not super happy with this yet. If I move over, I think there's one where he actually goes through the portal. I forgot which one it was. There, this is the one where he supposedly goes through the portal. And he goes like that, and he does that. And as you can see, the contacts are not amazing. We're going to have a tutorial on how to edit this after the fact, so we can have a much better and looking contact. Then I'm just going to like step up. There's a little bit of a jitter here, so I'll probably do a little bit of movie magic with that. But anyways, we corrected the pose. That was the whole point of this video. Now there's one thing that I want to mention, and I'm going to show you how to do it in a coming video. I kind of already did it in the videos before, but I didn't show how to do it. And by that I mean recording something in Unreal, because this is something that I recorded before. I was just firing Axis Neuron, just doing the poses and the movements that I wanted. And I got this, which again, it's usable. I could cheat it with some camera angles at certain points, but it's not the greatest, and I would need to do a lot of tweaking after the fact. So how do we solve this problem? The way that we solve this is by actually recording the animation whilst in Unreal Engine. There is a way where I can do this live in Unreal as if I was a VTuber or whatever, and then I could actually see what's going on with his arms when the hand is actually clipping. I think I should strap something to one of my legs to prevent that from happening, but what I mean is I am looking at the character so I can see what things to avoid and how I would personally have to act. And this is me recording after the fact, because for some reason my phone decided to start vibrating while I was recording, and it sounds awful. But my point is, the way that they do it in big productions is the actor doing the motion capture. If the character happens to have some sort of armor or something on them, they usually give that to the motion capture or the stuntman or stuntwoman or whoever is doing it. In this case, I don't have access to props. I'm not going to start making props just yet, but I can see myself inside Unreal, which usually the actors doing the motion capture don't have the luxury. So because I can see myself inside Unreal Engine, then I can actually play to having those things on me. Thank you so much for watching. I know it was a short video. Again, thanks everyone in the community, my patrons. As always, my level 2 patrons are here on screen. Subscribe to the Patreon if you want to help me out. If not, then just leaving a like and a comment goes a long way. Come to Discord if you have any questions. There's the Twitter and the Instagram if you want to follow the updates for. short film, and I'll see you in the next video.